Good morning, everyone. I'm Nikhil Lokam, and this is C++ Crash Course. Today, we will be learning about the basics of C++. In today's tutorial, I'll be covering over how to download Microsoft Visual Studios, which will be our uh, compiler for coding C++, and I highly recommend you guys to get Microsoft Visual Studios. If you're a Mac user, I'll provide links for Mac C++ compilers, so check the description for those. Throughout the C++ crash course, we'll be discussing how to code in C++. C++ is a huge basics for your first programming language, and I highly recommend you guys to get strong in C++. The uses of C++ are you can make games, office applications, graphics, and video editing stuff. Setting up Microsoft Visual Studios can be a little tricky. I'll be making a video also providing the link to where you can find Microsoft Visual Studios down in the description as well. So without any further ado, let's jump into our first program. So my Visual Studios is already downloaded and everything. I'm going to show you how to make your first project. Click on File, go to New, go to Project, then select Visual C++. If you select that, a bunch of options will come up. Select Empty Program, or Empty Project, I'm sorry. And type in a name for it and press OK. After that, come over here to Source Files, right click it, go to Add, and add a new item. Let's go into the coding now. I already created my comments. I really recommend you guys to comment all your programs like the way I did in the start, with your name, the date, and the last change, and the purpose. It's really useful. If you change the program and you made the last change, you changed the last change date, you'll remember that you did some kind of change and you can look back to it. Let's go into coding. So I'm gonna type in the code. Then I'm gonna discuss about what each thing does. I know that some of you guys already know how to code, and this might be boring for you in first, but not everyone is in the same place as you, so bear with me, and this course will exponentially incline in difficulty. Okay, that's gonna be the, let's say, the bare bones of any program that you'll do. So hashtag include means that you're including a library that's already present in the C++ folder or the file that you downloaded. There are a lot of other libraries. We'll be going over different ones in the future tutorials. The major ones are IOStream, String, FStream, Math, .h, and a bunch of others I can remember on top of my head. Using namespace std is really cool. So for some of these ones, like if you don't have using namespace std, you need to type std and 2 colons, and then you need to say cout and hello world, which is really a hassle when you're like typing thousands of lines of code. And trust me, we will be typing thousands of lines of code. You can only have one int main function per .cpp file, and without, I'm not actually sure if you can run a .cpp file without the int main. Maybe we should check that out in the future videos. So let's jump into how to print a simple statement. We're gonna be printing hello world, as simple as it can go. So cout is the basic output function. yeah, output statement. It's statement. I'm sorry. Cout is the output statement, and anything that you want to print, it should always be included in double quotations. And end line suggests that after the print statement has taken place, you go on to a new line. Also, I forgot to keep system parentheses double colon pause semicolon return 0 semicolon. So the if you're using an online shell for doing C++ coding, I would highly recommend you to get a compiler that is downloadable on your computer, because sometimes the online shell versions do not, they have some bugs with them, and they run some programs with the error in it, and some programs, even though it's not a huge error, they like crash. And if you're using Visual Studio's system, parentheses, the double quotation pause is necessary to make the console prologue not crash. And as every function, we'll talk about functions in the future course, every function needs to have a written statement if it's not a void statement. Let's run this. Let's run and see what happens. Yes, I would love to build it. And there we go. Hello world. Press any key to continue is basically the system.pause saying that if you press a key, I'm going to go to the written statement and written 0, and I'm going to close the console prologue. And let's press enter. Now, yeah, printing a just a statement is not that useful. Let's print a statement using a variable. We'll be doing cin, which is the input statements, in the next video. I don't want to overload you guys on the first video itself, so we're gonna take a static variable. Let's say int x. You can name it whatever you want, but name it something it's much useful and informative, I would say. And let's say 10. Actually, let's keep 2 variables, and we can do a addition of variables. With all means, if you guys are like stuck at any kind of point, pause the video, or if any question strikes you guys, post it in the comments. I'll try my best to answer your concerns as soon as possible. And we can do cout, the output statement, parentheses, the sum of x and y is, this is called a string. We're going to talk about strings in depth in the future videos. So if you're printing like this, and you want to concatenate a variable at the afterwards, or keep a sum of 2 variables, you need to keep the less than symbol. Let's do x. Let's keep parentheses. You don't need to keep parentheses, but it's a really good habit to enclose what you're trying to add, so that the compiler doesn't mistake you. Then you say less than end line, so that it goes on to a new line. And that's how you add. Let's run this, and hopefully it runs without any errors. There we go. The sum of x and y is equal to 15. X is 10, y is 5, and the sum is 15. That looks good. So just a recap of what we did. We looked at what C++ is. We looked at what Visual Studios is. We talked about what hash include using namespace, and we did our first program, which is Hello World, and we discussed how variable assignment works, and how you can add 2 variables in a print statement. Thanks for watching the video. Hit that subscribe button and the like, and if you have any questions, please place them in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.